What's up, YouTube? Said he, Artisan MC. And I'm not turning my camera on today because I'm looking really scruffy and I need to shave and cut my hair. And I will not put that out there for posterity right now. So you can skip that shit. What's up, Malika? What's up, Art? Art's Geek Podcast. What up, Malika? Art, this ain't bad. This ain't nothing bad. I just wanted to. I just came from seeing from work and from checking out Venom 2, and I don't want to spoil it in case Dr. T is in here, because I know Dr. T is going to see it in a little bit. So I'm not going to spoil much of anything. I damn sure know already that Malika has not seen it yet. I know that for a fact. And Malika can answer for herself. He might not even be seeing it this week. He might see it next week or so. Don't know. So, and Art, I don't think you've seen it yet either, because you're probably still at work right now. So I just thought I'd pop on for a minute since doesn't look like anything is really going on in the YouTube space. I'm tired and irritable, so I really don't want to talk. I put it on there, but I will just peripherally talk about the movie because I'm moody right now. I can turn around and give it a shit review, and it can be completely untrue. Definitely the next week. Yeah, I know you, Malika. Yeah, you're not the person that need to be out there on the geek night or anything like that. You always promote your shit on my shrine. Did you check out my video today on Milestone? No, I did not see your video today, Art. I was been at work all day, homeboy. So no, I just got home. I actually just got out of my work clothes and sat down at my desk before I hit the clippers in the shower. I was thinking about drinking some of this Applejack in here before that, but if I do that, I'm not going to get up and get in the shower. So if you listen to me, I'm sounding kind of ran down because I am tired. Tired as fuck right now. So what can I say about the Venom movie? Or Venom 2, I should be more precise. Sounds like I need some whiskey. Yeah, probably definitely after the shower. After the shower, probably definitely having some whiskey because I got some enchiladas sitting over there from my little Mexican food restaurant over there. Appreciate that share, Master Teacher. BGS and more. This ain't gonna be much to share, but went and saw the little ladies around here. They getting to know my face, and so she knew what I wanted, and so I got me my enchiladas and a michelada with Modelo, and it was just spicy enough. Shout out to my ex Sandra for that shit. She got me hooked on micheladas, and that shit is good on a hot day, and it has been a hot goddamn day. So, what can I say about the Venom movie without spoiling it? You should definitely go see it before anybody spoils it for you. So don't jump on YouTube and watch everybody's reaction videos or anything like that. Definitely go see it first and see what you think of it for yourself. You can do a matinee, you can do, full price, is up to you, but it makes no difference as long as the theaters make some money. That's about who you're paying. The box office, you're paying Sony, Marvel some money, and the theater a little bit. You get to the theater, you buy your concessions, you pay in the theater. So that's the people that's working in there, cleaning up after you leave that motherfucker and everything. So definitely hit the movies to support them because they are back in business just like everything else, and they want to stay in business just like everything else. Um, so matinee or full price, it don't matter as long as you buy your concessions. The theaters are staying open. I'm for the theaters staying open. If they gotta re-show anime on the big screen, as long as they stay open and can keep butts in the seats. So shout out to the theater owners. Um, you should see it before everybody spoils it because I get a lot of alerts from a lot of different channels, geek channels as well, just to make sure we're not overly talking about the same points, beating a dead horse. And these reports were coming out since Thursday, and I haven't watched any of them. I don't watch them because I don't want them to, especially if the movie just came out and I have not seen it yet. I don't want them to influence my opinion on the movie. That's why I don't like doing spoilers, because any spoiler that you do pretty much biases the person into looking for just what you told them to look for. They're not watching the movie for themselves at that point. They're having a fucking scavenger hunt to see if they can find the stuff that you mentioned. That's why I don't believe in spoiling movies. So I will say for the Venom movie, guess what? Venom's in it. Imagine that shit. Carnage is in it. How Carnage looks in the movie is really good. He looks really good. He does look a little in the face like Toxin to me, but that might just be, to give him a little bit of differentiation, but also a little similarity to the Venom symbiote. Okay. I will say, I don't say. I will say one of the lines from the trailer that they mentioned where Venom says, "Oh shit, it's a red one." They don't explain that. They don't explain what he means. Venom knows what he means, but he doesn't explain. Maybe that's for another movie. Maybe I missed it. I doubt it, but he doesn't explain what a red one actually means in symbiote. In symbiote. What else? It was not what I thought it might lead up to, as I warned Dr. Tia-san about. So it wasn't that per se, Dr. T, if you're listening. It wasn't that. I like the story of Venom and Eddie Brock and how they're getting along and living. His relationship with Anne ended up being a little bit more interesting than what was told in the trailer. And San Francisco is highlighted heavy, obviously, because it's in San Francisco. But it was really interesting to see the credits and see that most of it was filmed in. Now, the other thing that I learned while I was sitting in the movie listening to the music and the credits rolling was that the story was co-written by Tom Hardy, one other person, and Kelly McCall, I think her name was. McCabe, McCall. I don't know. Let me look it up in my fucking search history, because I had an inkling. Kelly Marcel. I had an inkling of why she was in it. And sure enough, when I Googled her and looked her up, my suspicion was proven correct. That she in fact is connected to Tom Hardy and maybe Tom Hardy's wife. I'm not sure. Yeah, it doesn't say. She may be his wife, but she in a lot of pictures with him. But she's written a couple of movies. She wrote the last one, the last Venom movie as well. She also wrote 50 Shades of Grey, which I didn't know. But okay, she wrote this one too. To answer the first question that Dr. T asked me, there isn't the feminine push in this. At least I wouldn't say that there was a feminine push in it. It wasn't. The women that were in here in this movie played their roles, and that was it. It wasn't all about them. It wasn't. Now, I think in some spots it rushed a little bit, but because it's covering a lot of territory in the sense that you have to get an understanding of who Cletus is, who Eddie is right now, who Venom is right now. Excuse me. How the two of them even end up in proximity with Cletus, since you don't have Eddie Brock in jail or anything like that with Cletus. You have to get a connection with Cletus and Shriek, and then you have to tie in all the rest of these iconic places like Ravenscroft and the boys' home as well. Now, the movie does a job of this, being that the geography for this thing is pretty much central to San Francisco. Now, I can remember one of the early theory crafters was putting out that this movie was going to happen, that they were going to go across um, the country and go to New York and stuff like that for Ravencroft and all that. Your ass was wrong. You were wrong. This is why I don't get into a bunch of theory crafting, because if I took that as gospel and went to this movie looking to see that, I would have been disappointed with the movie because it didn't give me what somebody who I took as gospel said it was going to be. Which is the funny part about reviewing, at least for me, is that I will review something and tell you what I thought about it, but I'm not, in a sense, trying to get you to believe exactly what I believe and see exactly what I saw. I'm not. I still want you to see it for yourself and make up your own damn mind of what you saw, what went out there to you, what you got your feels on. Because if you saw exactly the same thing I did and exactly the same words that I said, then fucking, what are we talking about? It just turns into an echo chamber. So my take on it was I enjoyed it. It made me laugh. It did make me laugh in different parts. That Venom, I would say in this, Venom is more of a fleshed out character a bit. And a lot of what's happening with Eddie and Venom is actually them coming to terms with each other. It's about acceptance and loneliness in some senses. And the connection between Eddie and Cletus was a bit interesting. That was a bit interesting. Um, Other than a couple of geographic things that bother me just because I'm from the Bay Area and I know certain scenes I saw, it's like, that's not the way you go across the bridge. You're going back into the city, not leaving the city. Stuff like that that I know because I'm from this area kind of sticks in my head, but it's just because it's just um, continuity wise, it's like, that's off, dude. I know that's not the way you go. So that's it. It's compressed in some senses. In some other senses, it's actually really fun. It's actually fun. Was it better than the second movie or the first movie? Hmm. I would say this one was better in the sense that there was a little bit more humor from Venom. There was more development between Venom and Eddie, and there was more acceptance with Venom and some of the other people in the cast, which you can see this character grow a little bit with each other. Um, what else can I say? What else? Spoiling it. Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy. It kind of worked. It kind of worked, and it wasn't what I thought he was going to be like. He didn't. He he was not what I was expecting him to be. And there were some nuances in his performance that were really interesting, especially his voice. I'm curious, I didn't catch it in the credits, if he actually did the voice of Carnage in it the same way that Tom Hardy is actually the voice of Venom. I'm not sure. I missed that. I have to check it out. But I think he might have been. That's all. He might have been. What else? What else counts? Special effects look good. Carnage moves really fast. For me, it's a little bit of a bummer because I want to see this thing on screen a little longer. And he just moved a little bit too fast. But as far as the special effects and stuff like that, they kicked ass. They kicked ass on that. I think there was one recycled scene. There's only one that I saw, and it reminded me of um, Spider-Man 3. One scene. It was brief, but it was like, the fuck, dude, you doing this again, Sony? Don't do this. That was fucked up. Well, that was the one scene that I saw that reminded me of Spider-Man 3. Other thing, there's only one post-credit scene, and that post-credit scene was really interesting, especially I love jumping the shark. She merged with the Venom symbiote in the first one, Malika. She merged with Venom in the first one. We're repeating those spoilers. I'm not spoiling shit. So, what was I saying? Malika threw me off with that spoiler alert. Fuck it. I'm tired. My brain is not working right. But yeah, it was entertaining. My theater was not packed, but I got in there at 5:10, so it wasn't a packed theater. It wasn't even really half full. But by the time I came out of the theater, there was a bunch of damn people in that lobby, mask, no mask, waiting to go in and see a movie. And I don't think they was there to see any of the dumb shit. They was going in there to see Venom. I did have one really young child in there, which shouldn't have been in there. I thought it might have been a little bit too scary for him, but the movie's not a rated R movie, so he got lucky. But you did see a tentacle raping. That did happen. That does happen in the movie. There's only one end credit scene, so you don't have to stay to the absolute end of the movie because there's nothing after it. I know because I waited. I don't think the soundtrack is as good as the first one. I was constantly in my head while I was listening to it, especially while the credits were rolling, and how Eminem's Venom song hit harder at the end of that first movie than any of the songs did at the end of this one, except for the very last song before the credits are over, which is, I think it's a Wu-Tang song, a new one, which sounds good. Yeah, Over Fiendishly Unleashed. Yeah, Over Fiendishly. Tentacle Rape. There's one song at the very end of the movie that sounds like it's Wu-Tang. Sounds pretty good, so I would actually want to listen to that song. But other than that, most of that shit was forgettable. Most of it was forgettable. There was one other song, but I can't think of the name of it and who was in it. It sounds like somebody new that I probably don't know. So I'll figure it out before Sunday, and if I like it, you'll hear it in the beginning part of the credits in my intro. But otherwise, it was entertaining. You can watch it and be entertained. Was I blown away by it? No, I wasn't blown away by it. And there's some, stingers in there, some stuff that you should watch and pay attention. The end credit scene is actually one that you should pay attention. Did it feel long or no? That's what she said to her girlfriend. No, it did not feel long. It did not feel long. There's only a couple of spots in the middle where I think it jumped really quickly to get back to some shit, to the story. And I think for Andy Serkis, Schmeagol and Gollum, fucking Ulysses Claw, this wasn't a bad director. I don't know if this is his directorial debut or what, but he should make a shitload of money off of this for directing. He should cash in more than he's not like it's more than he's been cashing in on everything else from being the fucking prototype tutor for motion capture on set. But yeah, he should cash in on this. He should make some money off of this. He did. I think he did a good job outside of some pacing things, like I was saying towards the middle. I thought it was fun. I thought he did a good job. I was entertained. I was watching the movie. I was involved with what was going on and the performance that Tom Hardy was given, and the performance that Venom was given. Because you do, in fact, in this movie, see them as two separate people or two separate entities. You will see it that way. So, yeah, it was good. And how they tied the detective in with everything else. Okay. Pretty good. Now, you should definitely stay to watch the end credit scene. Don't skip out before the end credit scene. And if you don't understand what happens, it's okay. It's okay. I got you. I'll feed you, baby bird. Shout out to Tosh.0. I'm not going to spoil it, but end credit scene was good. Good setup. Good pitch. And I think in the near future, some geeks will get what the hell they want out of this Venom franchise. So we'll see. They also, before the movie started, there was a release date for Morbius on there. And I think it said January 28th. I think that's what they said. I think that's when it's coming out. What's up, No One? Package Man. Yeah, I think Morbius is coming out January 28th. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what I remember seeing. And being that Morbius is supposed to have a tie to the Venom movie, even though it was supposed to come out before, it came out later. You'll see what it is in that. So hopefully you will get it come January. What up to Triv? What up to Triv? But that's it. I'm not going to spoil any more of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it. But, I mean, that stuff I said is not a damn spoiler. And that's why I'm leaving it like that, because I don't want to. Cracking a beer over there. Now I was trying to light my sea salt and caramel corn candle. And I think it's finally done. I do like good smells. And I stink. I need a shower. I don't even want to smell myself. Get my package this Wednesday, care package. Did you ever get that comic, dude? Did you ever get the thing I sent you? What the fuck? Don't give me something to get pissed off about, because I have more than enough things to be pissed off about right now. Yeah, candle of the evening like a motherfucker. Sea salt and caramel corn. Shout out to KS. He ain't the only one been burning candles. I've been burning candles since I was a teen. Girl with a single mom. You know, I know something about some goddamn candles and incense. Even though she didn't like the incense, but shit. I know some things about a lot of stuff. Like how to tell if a woman wearing the right size bra or not just by looking at her. Yep, but that's the candle for the evening. October 6th. Why does it take us so goddamn? That thing was supposed to show up like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. The fuck, dude? Apologize to you guys. This is a side business that I sent Artie Ibmore something to repay him for his models and shit that he sent me, and it still has not gotten there, which is, look, I got other shit to worry about. I guess I'm not gonna vent on that today because then I'll start ranting about everything else. So if it shows up Wednesday, good. If it don't, they owe me some fucking money, and that's through Amazon. So I will get my money. I will get my motherfucking money. And is AB in the house? Is A Bizzle to the Mizzle in the house? Because I just read that article AB sent me about MCU possibly dropping the men off of the X in the future going forward. Like, ain't nothing sacred, dude. Nothing with man on it is sacred. So that's about. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it tomorrow or not tomorrow, Sunday, or right now, but it just came to mind. And that shit was pissing me off a little bit. But my mind is looking for things to snack on because I'm kind of in a pissy mood. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the fuck out of here. But I just want to share that with you guys a little bit so you know my thoughts are out there. So when you hear me actually do a review of it, you understand that I wasn't just pulling it out of my ass, in a sense, like corpse. We already did that. No one. And yeah, it is some bullshit. And use all the X derivations they can to get away from saying X-Men. No, what the article was about that AB shared with me, and shout out to AB Media 83. Appreciate you sending me that article, bro. Because that was something I did need to read. And definitely got some thoughts and some 2 cents to throw on it. Apparently in the MCU, when it comes down to the X-Men movies, they're probably going to do away with calling them the X-Men because basically, and this is coming out of Feige's mouth too, is that they think the term X-Men is outdated and not as inclusive. So what they want to do, mind you, this is coming out of the article from Feige's mouth, is do one movie with the X-Men logo, with the X-Men title, and then every movie after that will walk away from the X-Men name. So it'll be something else other than X-Men. Now, one of the things that they were looking at, because they think it worked so well in Deadpool 2, was the X-Force thing. Because X-Force didn't have a gender attached to who they were. True. Very, very, very astute observation. But what they don't get is that X-Force was a paramilitary team. That's why the Force was in there. Because that was Cable's crew. As most of you know who keep throwing stuff in the chat, there have been a bunch of derivations of X teams. X-Men, Uncanny X, X-Force, X-Factor, X-Statics, fucking, oh my God. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. Now, the fact that they want to actually even talk about getting rid of the man on the X, or the men on the X, it's a bit of an insult because the whole point of that is saying, hey, these are Xavier's crew. Okay, whatever the fuck. But For me, I come down on it like this. They shouldn't remove it at all because that's what Stan Lee named the fucking team. Shouldn't. And Stan is dead. So, in essence, don't pull a Star Wars and try to walk away from what's already established. Excuse me. They are the X-Men, like it or not. They are Professor Xavier's men and women, be that as it may. Yeah, and it may be dated for the time because it was done in a time when you understood that you had G men and all this rest of this stuff. Yeah, all well and good, but it should stay because you know goddamn well you cannot sell this without calling it X Men. Can't sell it. Nobody's showing up to the let's see, one of the ones that Malika put in there, the X Diversity Teen movie. Nobody's showing up to see that shit. Gender X. Now, Gen X, you might get a chance, but everybody knows Gen X is a derivation of the X Men. It's a younger team. It's their Teen Titans, as it would be. That's the Titans team. Okay. Now, to me, the person who wrote this article was a guy. What was it, Josh Page or some shit like that? It's an interesting conversation just to debate, but what I see them doing as they're talking about in this article is that your alphabet community people want to take this X title. That's what they want. They want to take this shit. They want to take it because X Men as a comic, as a group, had the most diversity in it. Men, women, black, white, alien, blue furred, green skinned. Everybody was welcome. The X Men and mutants were like fucking geekdom. It's a bunch of people under that tent. Bunch of different races, bunch of different things under that tent. And now because they keep going with some of these people are actually gay or lesbian or whatever the fuck, pansexual, triad relationships, and all this goofiness. They want the X Men, and that's what they want the X Men to be. Bastion of multiculturalism and sexual diversity. So if you see the X Men movie pop up in the MCU, which you know is going to happen sooner or later, um, don't be if any of that shit is front and center. It's going to be more about women and more about the alphabet community and less about the men of the X. Because to throw away throw away the men from the X is to throw away the person who created the team, is to throw away his first student, Scott Summers Cyclops, and his second student, and it's to promote his second student, Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, who are kind of like Adam and Eve in that shit. As much as Cyclops might not be my favorite character, he does have a place. Started with him. Started with Professor X, or started with him. So I think the title for that shit will end up being X Woke. That's what I think it'll be. X Woke. There you go. Uncanny X woke or X alphabet. Because most of that sounds like bullshit and just trying to remove the masculinity out of it. Because even in the article, the guy tries to say how a lot of the mutants are mostly women. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, mutant lives matter. Yeah. XLM. Yeah. I'm gonna get sued by Xfinity. So that's it. They want that shit because it's the perfect ground for them to bring in all the diversity, the quote unquote diversity, because I don't call that diversity. But everybody on the bandwagon can come in through Marvel, through the X-Men. They can bring all the rest of that shit they want to bring in. Too true. If you gotta take one of those out of there, you ain't gonna give me flack on no bullshit. I mean, I don't personally care, but Big Brother does. Yeah, exnocracy. Exnocracy. Maybe it'll all be conky serfs. Who knows? And they can pay Dr. T for that shit. But yeah, it was a bad read. I mean, to top off this day, I just read it while I was drinking my michelada and waiting on my enchiladas. And I read that shit and I was like, oh, good. This is like the perfect end to this day. With that shit, I should have read that earlier. The X Clan. Yeah, then they really will get sued. Because in this space, shout out to BGS, some people don't understand that clan mean your family. Like, how the fuck? Why do you think they spelled it with a K, you dummy? Jesus Christ. Exnocrats. There you go, no one. Exnocrats. Yep. That'll work too. Probably more in keeping with it. Exnocracy. So that's what I see from reading that article. That they're gonna wheel the clown car in through the X-Men books. So the X-Men movies. So with that, you'll probably end up getting DeKen. You'll probably get DeKen showing up in the movies. Because DeKen is bisexual or whatever. So if you're looking at it through that lens of what they will put in to be diversity, you can guess who could probably be in some of them X-Men movies. DeKen gonna show up. You're gonna get the newly gay Iceman. You definitely gonna have the relationship between Scott, Jean, and Wolverine. Yeah, that kind of rhymes. That little triad, whatever the fuck they call it, when a woman is the head and she just got two dudes she can jump on. Exclusives. Yeah. So if you think of any of this new stuff that's happened and hope you got your nuts put away. Sound. What about the sound? Did you lose sound? Still seeing live. Oh, I lost it for a little bit. Fucking internet. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, you guys. My food's getting cold, and I still need to shower before I eat. So Somebody's power is going to be magically more powerful than Galactus. Of course, Two Triv. Don't you know that's the most awesome power in the universe right now? Can do anything. He could even reach back into the past and slap you for what you said, you know, decades ago. Wonderful, ain't it? So everybody have a turn in this new world. All right, so I've said enough. Rainbow energy burst. Yeah, Dazzler gonna have to show up now. Rainbow energy burst. Yeah, Dazzler has to show up, and Jubilee got to show up. Because in the comics, they made Jubilee a single mama from a baby you didn't even know where the hell it came from. She just had a baby all of a sudden. And Dazzler already shot rainbow energy, and that's why she keep popping up every goddamn where. I had Dazzler on my Future Fight game, and I can't for the life of me figure out why did they go to Dazzler? Who was asking for that? She dressed like a go-go dancer with glittering heels and everything. She should be on a stripper pole. Dumb shit. Anyway, okay, I'm getting out of here now. Thank you guys for showing up, listening to my Carnage of a Ramble, or Ramble of a Carnage. I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but go see the movie. Give it a watch. And so then when we talk about it, at least you know what the hell we talking about. And if you don't want to pay for it and you feel like fuck Sony, then I guess you can bootleg it somewhere. But come to the conversation with your own points, please. Because I will engorge myself on what everybody else had to say, and I will be well versed on everybody else's talking points to make sure I'm not saying any of that shit. So, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Uh-oh, I'm not ready.